Welcome to Share My Lesson. Today, I'm going to discuss the 2022 AMC Intermediate Solutions. If you haven't already subscribed to this channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button below and join us on this mathematical journey. Let's move on to the questions. We can complete the subtraction, which gives the number 198. So the answer is C. As you can see, there are 12 out of 29 squares that have 3 edges on the perimeter. There are 12 of these squares, so we can multiply 12 by 3, which gives us 36 centimeters. There are also 4 squares that have 2 opposite edges on the perimeter, which gives us 8 centimeters. Finally, there are 4 squares that have 2 adjacent edges on the perimeter, which gives us another 8 centimeters. We can add all of these up to get a perimeter of 52 centimeters. So the answer is A. From 8:22 p.m. to 9 p.m. there's 38 minutes, and from 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. there's 180 minutes. Altogether, there's 180 plus 38, which is 218 minutes. So the answer is B. Once we resolve this fraction, we get 1 plus 4 over 9 plus 16, which is 5 divided by 25. This is equivalent to the fraction 1/5. This means that the answer is A. PQ is equal to PR. So this means that PQR is equal to PRQ. We can mark each of these angles as X. So X plus 48 is equal to 180 degrees, which is the sum of all the angles in a triangle. 2x is equal to 132, so x is equal to 66. So the answer is B. The rectangle has an area of 7 multiplied by 12, which is 84. And the shaded trapezium has an area of 7 multiplied by 8 plus 12, which is 20, divided by 2, which is equal to 70. So the fraction shaded is 70 divided by 84, which is 5/6. This means that the answer is C. 0.4 squared is equal to 0.16, and 0.1 squared is equal to 0.01. When we add these together, we get 0.17. So the answer is C. There is enough petrol stored to last 60 days. So Australia must buy 30 days worth of petrol. We can multiply 30 by 160, which is 4,800. So Australia needs to buy another 4,800 million litres of petrol. So the answer is E. The lowest common multiple of 2 and 3 is 6. We can make a fraction where the denominator is 6 and we can solve it to get 2022 divided by 6, which is 337. This means that the answer is A. There are 3 triangles, so we can divide the term on the right by 3. This gives us 9x cubed multiplied by y to the power of 6. This means that the answer is D. We can mark the points of the square with the correct coordinates. We can find the point of intersection by finding the average of the different coordinates. This gives us the x value, which is 1 plus 7 divided by 2, which is 4, and the y value, which is 8 plus 4 divided by 2, which is 6. This means that the midpoint is 4 and 6, so the answer is A. Let the unknown value be known as y. We get an equation which we can resolve and simplify to get that y is equal to 2. This means that the answer is C. Using the ratio, we get that 2y plus 3y plus 4y, which is the total amount of the angles, is equal to 180 degrees. We can solve this equation to get that y is equal to 20 and 4y is equal to 80. So the answer is D. To resolve this question, we can allocate the unknown values as A, B, C, D, and E. Since each line adds up to 40, let's write an equation to find A. A is equal to 16. Since we know that A is equal to 16 and B is equal to 7, we can calculate the total value. Since each line adds up to 40 and there are 5 lines, we can multiply 40 by 5, which gives us 200. However, we count each number twice, so we have to divide it by 2, which gives us 100. The total value of all the numbers we know is 64. This means that D plus C plus E is 36. Let's write another equation. D plus C plus 7 plus 9 is 40. So D plus C is 24. This means that E is equal to 36 minus 24, which is 12. We can substitute 12 for E. This means that D is 5 and C is 19. The largest number used is 19, so the answer is E. Daniel travels at 20 kilometers per hour for 15 minutes, which gives us a total of 5 kilometers, while Luke travels 6 kilometers per hour for 20 minutes. This means that Luke traveled for 2 kilometers. Altogether, they traveled 5 plus 2, which is 7 kilometers. This means that the answer is D. Each of the 7 adults give gifts to all 11 other people, which gives a total of 7 multiplied by 11, which is 77 gifts. Each of the 5 children give gifts to all 4 other children, which gives a total of 5 multiplied by 4, which is 20 gifts. Altogether, the number of gifts given will be 77 plus 20, which is 97. This means that the answer is C. There are 16 equally likely outcomes from the 2 spins. The diagram shows the 2-digit numbers for these outcomes. The 10 shaded cells indicate when a multiple of 11 is obtained, so the probability of this is 10 over 16, which is 5 divided by 8. So the answer is D. The 8 unit squares each have an area of 1, and the 8 overlapping triangles each have an area of a quarter of a unit square. So the total area, which is 8 minus 2, which is 6. So the answer is C. Let X be the number of days that Nick was learning, and let Y be the number of days Rick was learning. We can write an equation 2 weeks ago, which is 5y minus x is equal to 56, and mark this as equation number 1. We can also write an equation 2 days ago, which is x minus 2y, which is equal to negative 2. We can mark this as equation number 2. We can resolve equations number 1 and 2 to get y is equal to 18. We can substitute 18 into y and get x is equal to 34. X plus y is equal to 34 plus 18, which is 52 days. This means that the answer is D. When we get a ratio of 4:3 image on a 16:9 screen, we can convert this 4:3 ratio to the equivalent ratio of 12:9. Now we can get the not black screen, which makes up 3/4 of the entire area. This means that the black screen makes up 1/4 of the area. Let L denote this 1/4. Looking at the second image, where the 16:9 image is on a 4:3 screen, we can convert 4:3 to 16:12. This means that the not blacked area is equal to 3/4 and the blacked area is equal to 1/4. Let R denote this 1/4. So that ratio of L to R is equal to 1/4 to 1/4, which is 1:1. This means that the answer is C. We can apply Pythagorean theorem to the triangle ADB to find that AB squared is equal to 65. Now we can apply Pythagorean theorem to the triangle AEB to find that AE squared is equal to 49, so AE is equal to 7. Using this, we can find the area of ACB, which is 8 times 7 divided by 2, which is 28. This means that the answer is B. For when n is equal to or greater than 1, we can write an equation where 8 is a common factor of the numerator and 27 is a common factor of the denominator. This cancels out to the cube root of 8 over 27, which is equal to 2/3. This means that the answer is B. Let the drum hold 12 liters. Then originally there are 5 liters of water and 7 liters of milk. When 9 liters are split, this is also in the ratio of 5 to 7. So we can find the amount of water and milk, which is 3.75 liters and 5.25 liters. This leaves 5A minus 3.75 liters of water and the 7A minus 5.25 liters of milk. Using the new ratio after adding 9 liters of water, which is 7 to 9, we get the equation with 7 multiplied by 5A minus 3.75 plus 9 is equal to 9 multiplied by 7A minus 5.25. Using this equation, we can find the value of A, which is equal to 3. So the original amount of milk would be 7A, which is equal to 21 liters. So the answer is B. Let X be the lowest common multiple of P and Q. We know that the product of any two integers is equal to the lowest common multiplier multiplied by the highest common factor. So PQ is equal to XT. We can rearrange this to get that X is equal to PQ divided by 2, which is equal to PRT over 2, which cancels out to give PR. This means that the answer is D. We can label each cell in this 3x3 square with the letters from P through to X. We know that PQR is equal to STU is equal to VWX is equal to QTW, which is equal to 1. We also know that PQST is equal to QRTU is equal to STUW is equal to TUWX, which is all equal to 2. We can rearrange these equations to get that PQST multiplied by QRTU is equal to 2 multiplied by 2, which is 4. Using the first equation, we get that PQR multiplied by STU multiplied by QT is equal to 4, where PQR and STU are both equal to 1. This means that QT is equal to 4. We can label this as our first equation. In a similar way, we can find that TW is equal to 4. We can label this as our second equation. We can multiply our first equation and second equation, which is QT multiplied by TW is equal to 16. We can rearrange this to get that QTW multiplied by T is equal to 16. We know that QTW is equal to 1 from our very first line. This means that T is equal to 16. So the answer is E. In the hundreds column, C plus A is either 9 or 10. In the units column, B plus C is either 2 or 12. If B plus C is 2, then B is equal to C, which is equal to 1, and then A is equal to 1 in the tens column. However, this puts 1 plus 1 is equal to 2 in the hundreds column, so there is no solution that B plus C is equal to 2. We can mark these equations with 1, 2, and 3. And we can add equations 1 and 2 and minus equation 3 to get that 2A is equal to 8 and A is equal to 4. Substituting 4 for A in the second, third, and first equations, we can get that C is equal to 5 and B is equal to 7. So ABC is equal to 475. We can rewrite 171 multiplied by 111 sixes to 171 multiplied by 6 multiplied by 10 to the power of 111 minus 1 divided by 9. This means that this is equal to 171 multiplied by 6 over 9 multiplied by 10 to the power of 111 minus 1. The 171 gets cancelled out by the 9 to be equal to 19. So we get 114 multiplied by 10 to the power of 111 minus 1. Now we find that this is equal to 113 with 108 nines and 886. We can find the sum of all these digits. Which equals to 9 multiplied by 111, which is 999. Let A, B, and C be the three numbers. All we need to do is find the value of A and B, and C will have a guaranteed value. For example, A can be 1, and then B can have a value between 2 and 49, which is 48 possibilities. A can have a value of 2, and then B can have a value between 3 and 48, which is 46 possibilities. We can keep trying on the different possibilities. We notice a pattern where the different possibilities vary by 2, 1, 2. We can complete the table in the following way. We get an arithmetic sequence where 1 plus 3 plus 4 all the way up to 48 is a total sum. We can use the sum formula where n over 2 multiplied by a plus l is the total sum. There are 32 terms in this sequence. The first term is 1 and the last term is 48. So the total sum will be 16 multiplied by 49, which is 784. Select numbers one at a time. At each point, choosing the smallest number available that can be used to form a triangle with the two previously chosen numbers. The first three chosen are 1, 2, and 3. The fourth choice can't be 4, since there's a triangle with sides 2, 3, and 4, with the principle that the two chosen sides of a triangle must be greater than the third. So we can choose 5. This works, since if A and B are chosen from 1, 2, and 3, then A plus B is equal to 5. So A, B, and 5 don't make a triangle. The same principle tells us that the fifth choice, 8, which is 3, 5, and 6, and 3, 5, and 7, both form triangles. But 8 can't form a triangle with the two numbers from 1, 2, 3, and 5, since 8 is the sum of the two largest numbers. In general, each choice from here on will be the sum of the two previous choices, given a sequence of Fibonacci numbers. The first 15 of these add up to 987, which gives us a choice of 15 elements with no triangles, meaning that no more than 15 is possible. This means that the answer is 15. To solve this question, we can break it down to a smaller problem. When there are two columns, there's one possible path. When there are three columns, there are two possible paths. When there are four columns, there are four possible paths. We can make a table and we can find a pattern. When there were two columns, the amount of parts were 2 to the power 0. When there were three columns, it is 2 to the power 1. When there were four columns, it is 2 to the power 2. Following this pattern, we know that when there were 8 columns, the amount of parts were 2 to the power 6, which is 64. This means that when there were 8 columns, the amount of parts was 64. We have now completed the 2022 intermediate solutions. If you want further clarifications of these solutions, please add a comment below, and I will try to reply with an explanation. Thank you for watching. Hit that subscribe button and share this video with anyone who would benefit from it.